I find this story unbelievably remarkable because you just did the simple act of saying, well, I'm still a Christian at work. Tell me about this. I mean, this was a customer that had visited you for 9 years, as Kristen was saying in this video, and you had a great relationship, but it seemed, I mean, it just seemed from my perspective, being on the outside, that it just turned on a dime like that, right? Because you just simply said, I love you. I can do anything else for you. I just can't do this.
Yes. It did turn very quickly, but when Rob and I were talking about the wedding, and after I told him why I couldn't do it, and we talked about his mom and walking him down the aisle and why he got married, or why he was going to get married, excuse me, and I suggested 3 other florists for him because I knew he wanted somebody to do him a good job, and we hugged each other and he left. So it wasn't.
And you thought that was the end of it?
Yeah.
Did it shock you when, I mean, all of a sudden he turns right around and there's legal action?
Well, Rob didn't file the suit. The Attorney General did, and then the ACLU came aboard, and Rob and Kurt joined them. So, yeah, it was very amazing.
And oh my gosh! And this is they found you. What is it? I had it here in my notes that you were found liable for violating the Washington law against discrimination, and was ruled that both the state and the couple may collect damages and attorney's fees from your business and your personal assets. So if they sued her, Kristen, they sued her professionally, they sued her business, and then now personal assets as well they're assessing.
They have relentlessly pursued her. It's become the Attorney General's cause célèbre. He could have, if he wanted to clarify the law, he could have sued her business to clarify the law and taken it through the appellate process and not asked for damages. But instead, not only did he, but the ACLU on behalf of the couple sued her, not just her business that she built with her mom over 30 years, but they're suing her personally. So they're trying to take everything she owns in a vicious attack on her. Her retirement, her savings, I mean, think about what's at stake.
Are the flowers for his wedding that valuable? Are they that valuable? That's what mystifies me in this, because they're going after everything she has for flowers at his wedding that he could have gone. Are you the only florist there in Washington?
No, but they also had 20 offers to do free flowers.
And free flowers, Kristen.
Yes, and I think, you know, what is so telling about this whole situation and the events that have transpired even over this last week in Indiana and Arkansas is that the people that are taking this stand and are gently, kindly referring, they serve all people. Barronelle has employed gays and lesbians, those who identify as bisexual. She considers Rob her friend.
Right.
So to suggest this is about anything other than an event is just wrong.
And that kind of brings one of the narratives that we have seen in the press is that business owners like yourself or other business owners who are also Christian, the point is, it's not that you refuse to serve gay couples that walk through the door, because, I mean, very clearly you did business with Mr. Ingersoll for 9 years, but it was the specific act of the same-sex wedding ceremony. You're a Christian. Tell me what that means when you're at work.
Well, I try to run my business in a Christian way, not only my business but my personal life. And to me, marriage is between a man and a woman, and that's what my faith teaches me. And I have a right to believe that, just as Rob has a right to believe the way he believes.
Did you feel as though your rights, his rights, were being promoted over yours before the state?
Absolutely.
And Kristen, that's, if you have the preferential treatment of one group before the other in front of the Constitution, in front of state law, to me that seems, well, that doesn't quite seem fair.
Well, it's not legal. It's not fair. It's unconstitutional. And I think it's worth pointing out that the right to believe something is meaningless if you don't have the right to live consistently with it. And that's what's at stake here. This idea that somehow, because you identify as gay, all of your conduct is protected and you should be able to force anyone to participate in what they perceive to be a religious ceremony. It's the same thing is true as a Christian. We identify as Christians. That's a part of who Barronelle is. And so that conduct is also protected in the First Amendment.
Right.
So I think that, you know, the government having a license to punish people for exercising their basic civil rights is terrifying.
Complying. It's forced acceptance. How, Barronelle, tell me how this has affected, I mean, obviously, I mean, we can assume that this has had a horribly negative impact on your life, but tell me what it's like day to day now, because you have this huge burden on your shoulders because you stood for your faith.
Well, it's not a burden. It's my freedom to have my faith as I believe.